Hello and welcome to this short demo where we'll showcase today with the power of Tableau Next and Data 360 how you can bring in all your enterprise data without moving it to our data platform through zero copy capabilities and make that enterprise data ready for action, contextual, and real-time insights. Before I start into the demo, just a quick disclaimer that the data presented in this demo is entirely fictional and has been created solely for demonstration purposes. So it does not reflect any real individuals, companies, actual business performances. So any resemblance to real data is purely coincidental. With that, let's go on to the demo. So now in this scenario, I'm going to walk through a RM manager or RM team, real manager, real relationship manager, team lead, for instance. And what I'm looking at in here is how do I leverage, again, all my enterprise data to help me drive more revenue by leveraging campaign information. And as you can see here, this is my campaign intelligence dashboard. I can easily filter through this sort of dashboard. So I can go say, I want to look at my current year. And you notice that all that data is real-time queried, right? So remember, the data is not moving to our data layer. It's a zero copy, so it automatically querying at the source. And the beauty about what you see in front of you here is we've got our metrics, so that gives you a quick indication of what's happening, for example, with your revenue, but also a context and what we call real-time insights on what's driving those revenue. But of course, you have the ability to create all these sort of cool, beautiful widgets as well as forecasting. And for instance, if I wanted to focus on a specific product, for example, if I want to look at life protection, or maybe I want to look at wealth, you'll notice how everything facets and filters, like for example, revenue, I can see the forecast over a period of time. But of course, the intention is we want to make it more agentic. So how does agents help me with this sort of scenario? Well, it's pretty simple. Let's say I wanted to look at a individual metric. Let's say I want to look at my APE realized, which is kind of like our revenue. You'll notice as I log in here, it automatically generates all the relevant insights. So it tells me, period over period comparison. It tells me how far I am from achieving my goal. And it also generates kind of like a quick sort of an insight about what's going on with the ability to, of course, slice and dice through different dimensions. But on top of that, I can leverage my agent force now. So if you notice in here, I've got my Tableau Next agent force or concierge service, and I can go and talk to it, right? So for example, I can go and ask the question. Let me just zoom in so everyone can see that. Can you help me analyze which campaign is driving more revenue and group that by top agent? So what we're doing in here is, in short, all our enterprise data through zero copy is being leveraged through our semantic model. The semantic model is basically the secret sauce. This is where we can go and create all the context of our business and empower our digital agents, in this scenario, our concierge service, to be able to answer any questions and converse with us by delivering accurate responses. So in this scenario, as I ask the question, you can see here the response. It automatically gives me what are the campaigns that drives the most revenue, and also kind of like groups it by my sales or my top agent, right? So you can go and see that, and of course it visualizes. So it gives you all the visualization, and most importantly, it also shows you the sources. So you'll see here it's coming from my semantic model, which is my insurance commission and campaign. Now let's say I wanna converse with it. Let's say it's more. Let's ask a more of a vague question. So let's go with, who out of my agents are working well and who is not, right? So again, what we're doing in here is we're trying to converse with our trusted data using plain natural language. Now what's going to happen? The agent, our concierge service, is going to come back with a response. But the first thing, if you look at that, if anyone asks you, who out of my agents are working well and who is not, you have to kind of like clarify the intent. And this is exactly what our agent does. So it goes and say, I'm happy to help you out. But in order to understand who's working well, you need to tell me, what do you want me to look at? How do you want me to rank them? Do you want me to rank them by revenue, by policy sold, by conversion rate? So let's go and say, I'm going to, look by revenue and conversational rate. Again, I'm going to zoom in so that way you can see the responses here. And you'll notice how it's all conversational. So as I'm asking a question, I'm getting the accurate response through the contextual layer, which is called the semantic model. And I'm conversing with my data to be able to get the insights that I'm looking for. So as I do this now, it's going to come back with a holistic view on who out of my agents are working well and who's not, based on revenue and conversational rate. Now, always keep in mind that you can give feedbacks to the agents. You can go say if this response is an accurate response, or maybe if you don't like it, you can kind of like give it a feedback or thumbs down, and you can go and say, oh, it's not accurate, or maybe it's not the right answer to the question that you've asked. Let's ask another question, which is more around, you know, can you propose a campaign configuration to drive revenue for January? So what I want to do now is I want to leverage predictive capability as part of my semantic model to help me understand potentially what is the best campaign that I can go and utilize or personalize to drive revenue for the month of January. Keep in mind, we are in December at the moment. So let's see what we're going to get back with. There you go. So you'll notice in here, the response was, so my agent was able to leverage also the predictive capability to go and tell me, what sort of campaign I can go and leverage. So for example, it's saying I should focus on live product, offering F&B vouchers as a word, and normally tailoring that for one of my agents. These are my brokers, for those three different roles, right? And then if we do so, then we will get around, $3 million in revenue with a 0.11% cost by revenue ratio. So you'll notice again how, and if I expand the sources, you'll notice it kind of like tells me and it shows me the semantic model that it queries that from. Now, last thing that I wanted to show as part of this demo is, of course, the ability also to take action. So this is a concept of a what-if analysis, where again, similar to how I asked my agent to help me understand what is the best campaign configuration to drive revenue, I can also now do it from here, right? So I can go and say, I'm gonna look at a live segment. You'll notice in the bottom there is a revenue, so it kind of like tells me what's the revenue based on that. So let's say I wanna give or select a F&B voucher as an word type, and I wanna run it, let's say in January as well. And maybe I want to focus on one agent, and maybe also I want to focus on, let's say, Gen X. Sorry, I should select that one again, and let's do Gen X. So with this sort of configuration, I can see here there's around $2.93 million to be generated of revenue. So the idea is within our Tableau Next, you have the ability now to kick a flow. So by clicking on that button, I can leverage all those information. So I'm looking at investment for this partner, for Gen X, and by clicking on finish, it automates the whole campaign creation. Hopefully you've enjoyed that demo. Stay tuned. Thanks.